Thank you all for joining us for season 2 of Real Talk with Arlette. This show is about bringing together a diverse group of ladies to exchange ideas and share their experiences on topics that relate to all women. I've decided to dedicate my entire second season to a topic that has certainly impacted my life as well as many of the women's lives that are in my circle. And that topic is cancer. And y'all, it ain't for wimps. So I have a very special guest tonight. She is fierce, she is fearless, and she is a ride or die. But most importantly, she is one of the best mothers I know. So y'all please help me welcome the one and only Kendall Duffy.
Thank you.
I
Thank
wish I had an
you.
audience for you, sis. I tell you what, Kendall, I really appreciate you being on the show to share your story. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Well, I appreciate you thinking of us for something like this because this time last year, I didn't think I would be going through something like this. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you bringing light to this topic because it is important.
Well, I tell you what, let's just jump right in and have some real talk. Let's
Okay.
start with just that. How did you all learn of Kamarley's diagnosis? Now, tell us who Kamarley is.
So Kamarley Duffy is my daughter, and she's 12 years old. And basically, we're I was getting ready for my new position at my job, and it was the first day of my promotion. And that night, like the night before, she said that her stomach was hurting. So we just thought maybe she ate something bad or something like that, had to use the bathroom or something. So I was like, listen, just let's wait 24 hours for the doctor's office to be open and mommy will bring you. I said, but if you can't take it, then we're just gonna go to the emergency room. Well,
Right.
at like 5 a.m., she was like, mommy, I can't take it. So we went to the doctor, and I'm still thinking, okay, she just has a stomach ache, and that's it.
Yeah.
About 3 hours passed, we were still there, and I needed to go to work. So I called my mom, she's a part of my village, and I was like, come sit here to the emergency room with her and see what's going on. They think it's her colon or something. And my thoughts was, I'm sorry, not her colon, her spleen. Her spleen was
Okay.
enlarged. So I was like, let's just take it out. And the doctor said, well, we have to see what's causing it. So I go to work. I start my first day of my new promotion. I have a brand new class to train. And my mom calls me and says, let me put the doctor on the phone. So I'm getting impatient, like, just get to the point.
Right.
And the doctor, I'm literally in the car. I'm driving to my job. And he says, we think she has leukemia. And I was like, excuse me, what? And he just said leukemia. So I was like, no way. So long story short, we were supposed to go to New Orleans to go see a specialist, an oncologist. She couldn't make it there. By the time we got to Baton Rouge, Lafayette is 2 hours away from New Orleans. So by the time we got to Baton Rouge, she couldn't even sit in the car anymore.
Oh
So I
my.
basically had to bring her straight to the Baton Rouge hospital. I needed help getting her out of the car and get her in. And so at that hospital, they did say she does have leukemia. We're not sure what type, but we're gonna just stay here. At about 3 in the morning, it says she needs to go to New Orleans Hospital or to Memphis. Once I found out what type of cancer she has, which is acute myeloid leukemia, AML, blood cancer, we chose Memphis, and we've been here for since April. She was diagnosed on the 26th, and we've been here since the 28th.
Oh gosh. The
Yeah.
26th of April. Oh my
26th, she was
goodness.
diagnosed. We were in Memphis by the 28th. So
That happened very fast.
very
That's a
fast.
blessing to be able to get in one of the top hospitals for children in 2 short days. So that tells me that she has a very serious cancer, an aggressive
Yes.
cancer.
Yes.
So let's talk about just that. Now you live in Louisiana and you had just started your new job, first day on the job, and you just get slapped over the head with your baby being sick. I can't imagine that. I do want to talk about the emotional roller coaster that you went through, but before that, tell us about you having to uproot your family. You are a working mother of two children, and one of your children has special needs. So tell us a little bit about the challenges that you had to face in uprooting your life to Memphis.
Yes, well, I do have a son with autism, and at the time he was 19 and my daughter's 12. So the first things first was to get to Memphis. Once we get to Memphis, you get bombarded with questions about her health, um, all kind of things that you don't understand. You don't know what's going on. And she was so sick, we were immediately rushed to ICU, and we stayed in ICU for the first few weeks. So I had that going on. Thank God that I do have a supportive family. So my mom was able to hold on to my son at the time. But aside from getting my daughter stable in the house, in the hospital, and my son stable at home, I still have bills. So
Yeah,
the mortgage company is not going to say, "Oh, something tragic happened. You can chill." It wasn't like that. I still had bills. I still had a job that I was blessed to keep. They did let me at least keep my job, but of course, I couldn't work or anything. I just had, that position. I had to stay well myself. Like I have to stay well while, they're being well. And so most of the challenges was just that. The hospital that we're in, they do provide housing for this long-term
mhm,
type of illness. They do provide you with money once a week for food,
okay,
but they don't offer any type, they're not able to give you any other compensation for your at-home bills. So you have a car note, insurance, if you have a job, they can't secure any of those things. You literally have to
yeah,
navigate and figure your way out of it. As far as the finances go, I had a lot of friends from high school. Like, I didn't know I was so loved to send donations. My
yeah,
sister and my mom would send donations. Um, and like my dad was able to do like a dinner drive and do it. My brother has a barbershop, so he was able to get donations. And that's how I was able to make it. But you still feel like you're a burden on people having to do that. But that was just one of those things that I had to accept love and accept support to, like, to be able to go through this. But
yeah,
that's just some of the challenges, because once you uproot your family, I need to learn about Memphis.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Where to go, how to get to the
Wow.
hospital back and forth and stuff. So yeah, that was very hard, but we're doing it.
Ride or die, right?
Right.
So
But
I've
we're gonna
been
eat something
following,
along the way.
yes, I've been following you a little bit on social media. So I do have some insight as to the emotional roller coaster. That is the best way I could describe it. Because I would dare say, and I am not a doctor or a psychologist, but it looked to me like the five stages of grief. I mean, bam, you're in shock. You hear about your daughter having cancer. Anybody with cancer, because I've lived it with other family members. When you hear cancer, you're just in shock. That's your first emotion. So it's great to lean on family so that they can help you get past that shock and then on to, the healing phase. But man, you went through a lot of different emotions going through this journey with Kamarla. You want to share some of that? Because I watched you post a lot of videos on Facebook. So tell us about that.
Yeah. My initial reaction is crying. That
Yeah.
was my way of getting it out and figuring it out. Like that was my way of doing it. And first I cried.
Yeah.
Literally my boss, my supervisor and the owner of my company sat on the phone and just kind of let me cry it out.
Yeah.
Um, I was mad. That was
Yeah.
another part. I was mad at God. I was mad
Mhm.
at myself. I was mad at Louisiana. I was mad at a lot of things because I felt
Yeah.
like as if as if I haven't been through enough. I just figured out this whole promotion thing, and
Right.
I'm a single mom. I don't have court order child support or any of that stuff. I don't even have the presence of another body there, another paternal person there to do it. So it's like
Yeah.
all on me. So that overwhelming feeling, you go through a process. When I had to tell Kamarly what she had, I just ripped it off like a band-aid. And that
Oh,
was the hardest thing to do, because the two things she asked me was, am I gonna die? And am I
yeah.
gonna lose my hair? And as a mom, the correct answer is, I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. But at the time, I couldn't tell her that. All I could do was just hold her and just get it out. Since then, it doesn't stop. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm mad, sometimes I'm happy. I
Right.
have learned to celebrate the victories. I have learned that whatever you believe in is what you pull strength from,
Hmm.
whatever it is, a higher power, what nature, whatever it is, that's what I pull strength from, and that's what works for me.
Yeah.
But I definitely needed to validate my feelings, and I needed to let people love on me to try to, because some days I just didn't know if I could hold myself up for this. There are a lot of
Wow.
times when my daughter came here, we were both like not knowing what was going to happen. And the first day that I noticed her hair was coming out, I was just like, God, how am I going to communicate this
Yeah.
to her and make sure that she knows that I'm doing this with you, but we have to do this. And the biggest thing I got out of it was, you have to allow yourself to feel whatever it is.
Yeah.
So when she's feeling good and she want to do a TikTok, I make a big deal out of it. I make a big deal out of it. And when people send me support, whether it's financial or they just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, or hey, I'm praying for you guys, I feel like I want to update them and say, thank you for your prayers and thank you for just telling me I was thinking about you. And then I'm going to show you what we're going through and the result of that, and how I appreciate all the love. And don't get me wrong, the donations definitely help, because I have to have a home to go home to. And
Right.
people have a mortgage of their own, they have kids of their own, they have parents of their own. Even you, Arlette, right? So
Right.
for the person that gives $10 that they probably didn't have, to the person that gives a larger amount, I appreciate it all. And even though I can't just, thank everyone as much as I want to, I just want them to know that
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But I had to accept the love, and that kind of helps me through. So yeah, and we
When you
still going
answer,
through the stages.
you are, because that is it. Those five stages, they are real. And people think that the five stages of grief are only applicable if someone is dying. No, it's not. It's applicable when you're going through a rough time, like what you and Kamarly are going through. But man, I just want to applaud you. I really, really do. From the bottom of my heart, you are a strong, strong woman. And,
Thank
most importantly, you held it down for your daughter. I mean, when she was feeling up to it and you turned that camera on and you hit record and y'all did your TikTok dances. And by the way, I am going to put one of those up at the end of this session.
you.
That, I know, I feel in my heart of hearts that that made all the difference in her recovering and surviving this horrific disease. So kudos to you, and taking time to update people on Facebook, for all those people, like you said, that gave 5 and 10 or 1,400, whatever they gave. You genuinely gave them an update and thanked them regularly. So I applaud you for that. So you answered
Yeah.
my question on how you're able to get through all of the roller coaster that you guys have been through. How is Kamarly doing?
She's beautiful. She's great. I mean, she has her moments. She's
Yeah.
12 years old. She's going through puberty.
God.
She had this coal black hair like on Moana, the little cartoon, right?
Yes.
Where her hair literally goes almost, down her back almost. It's so long. And that was such a part of her. And so when people would see her, they would say, "Oh my goodness, your hair." Everyone would say
Yes.
that all the time. She
Right.
was accustomed to it. It was so much a part of her. So I knew that I would have to hold her, for those moments, but not just that. Every time the doctor comes in and says, "You need a blood transfusion," or "You need, something to help you stop vomiting." And, she
Yeah.
just in the bed so much and can't get up. Don't know why she can't get up, but she's also going through puberty and she has to go
Right.
through middle school, and she just had a lot of health conditions where every day she didn't know if she was going to be sick or if she's going to be okay. So she's dealing with it. She does a lot of beautiful drawings about her feelings. Me
Oh,
and her talk a
good.
lot. We express it
Okay.
all so much to each other. We keep it very real and very honest because even though she's 12 and there's probably some things where you feel like, oh, that's kind of like, I don't want to, get into that kind of serious conversation.
Right.
I feel like she's dealing with something that most adults don't have to deal with.
You're right.
So if she has to be thinking about her life and how she's going to live it, then I feel like we can talk about every and anything. Like she's maturing through the process. And
Absolutely.
she don't have like what normal 12-year-olds have to deal with. She's dealing with something that she shouldn't have to deal with. So we just
Wow.
keep that communication open and yeah, we just kind of lay it on the table and keep it real raw. And afterwards though, you feel better. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
she's
she's
strong, Kendall. I mean, just like her mommy, apparently, because she shared something just recently. I mean, as if going through cancer isn't enough, having to go to school still, you're in a state that you're not familiar with, you're being poked and prodded all day long. And didn't she have a couple of procedures?
yes. So with AML, the blood cancer that she has, basically the bone marrow that produces blood is not producing healthy blood that normally dies off in 28 days or so.
Yeah.
Her blood was living longer and getting deformed and
Mm,
eating away the bone marrow. So it
okay.
was taking out bad blood, putting in good blood, taking out
Mm,
bad blood, putting in good blood. And with that, her immune system is completely gone because chemo
yeah.
kills it. So she
Yes.
has to get chemo put into her spine before every chemo treatment.
Mm,
She has 6 chemo treatments altogether. Sometimes she loses mobility because it causes her to have cellulitis in a
yes.
lot of different areas. And yeah, she's a many infections. She's had many, many fevers going
Yeah.
through this. And so we celebrate the small victories, but
Yeah.
we've been on every single room. We've been in every single room on the 4th floor. We've been
Gee.
in like 16 rooms on the 2nd floor. We've been to
Oh
the
my God.
hospital and we got our favorites. But if she can keep pushing,
That's
so
right.
can I. Yeah.
But I applaud her. She posted something on Facebook about her being on a video game. I'm not going to name the video game, but there were these kids that were being very, very ugly to her. They accused her of lying about her sickness.
Mm-hmm.
So, mommies out there, if you have a child and you know your child is a bully, I would suggest that you lock that down because not every kid will be able to respond the way Kamarly responded. She was pretty adult about it. I mean, she handled it very
She's
well.
very introverted. She gets that from my sister. She's very introverted, very shy. She gets her energy from being inside and enclosed. Now,
Right.
when she feels like it, like around family, she will open up, but she's very
Yeah.
introverted. So sometimes when she doesn't want to be bothered, she'll say things like, "Listen, I have cancer. I don't want to play with you guys if you don't mind. Like, I'm
Right.
good." And
Right.
so by them not backing off, I guess she figured she wasn't backing off. So
Yes.
normally she would just let it fly, but this time maybe she got some strength and said, "I'm gonna voice it." And I
She
was very
did.
proud of her because I woke up to that video.
She
I
handled her
didn't know.
business.
Yeah.
In fact, I might put a clip of it at the end of this episode too. So kudos,
Yeah.
Kamarly, if you're in the background. All right, let's see how we're looking on time. We got a little bit of time, but before we go,
Okay.
please share with us a piece of advice. There are other mothers out there. You are certainly not the only one that has a kid with cancer. What advice would you give women out there that are going through it right now with their child?
A couple of things, and you take what works for you. Don't look at the end date. Whatever the doctor tells you, if it's a 6-month treatment or a 6-year treatment, because some kids do have a 6-year treatment. If it, whatever it is, don't look at the end date. Literally take it day by day. Your feelings are valid. Express them. You don't have to answer the phone for everyone. And I had people say, I wouldn't put that stuff on Facebook. Well, that's you. I do what I want to do. So you do what you want to do. Let people love on you. If someone wants to help you, let them. I know how it feels, and I will pay it forward and donate to St. Jude to the hospital. But I mean, pay it forward. If you want to buy somebody lunch one day because they helped you, just pay it forward if you feel that way. But let people love on you, definitely. Allow yourself to feel what you feel.
Okay.
And always remember that that patient is feeling it probably 100 times more. So allow yourself to feel, get it out, reset, and do it, get it together and talk to people. Like sometimes you just need to scream and holler.
Yeah.
Even you sent me a message like, if you want to call and scream and holler, please do so.
And I meant that too. It didn't matter what time of night. That is great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Because this is a roller coaster. So put your seatbelt on. Yeah.
Well, I guess Kamarly's not going to say hi. That's okay.
She will. She will. Let me see if she'll just smile for you. Say hi.
Hi. Hey, I wanted to tell you, you are a rock star.
She said you're a rock star. She said, thank you.
Awesome. Well, Kendall, we are at time. I truly.
Oh, well, come on, everybody.
Let me everybody. See the family.
Yeah, we're here celebrating Thanksgiving. We surprised her since we're stuck here. So everybody came. My son's here. Look, Jay.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, family. Hi. I mean, you have the whole family.
Yes, we got the whole family.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Yep. All right. Don't hang up yet. Thank you. Ladies, thank you all for joining me today. If there are any topics that you would like us to cover on the show, or better yet, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to us at realtalkwitharlette.com and click Let's Talk. Until next time, I encourage you to be faithful, be fearless, but most importantly, just be yourself. Bye-bye.